lesson, we will be dealing with how to create vivid pictures in your writings. To do that, you must be able to use descriptive words. Descriptive words are adjectives that help readers to visualize what they are reading. Take a look in our sample text. Let's read. The walls closed in. I could not escape the endless, darkened wall to freedom. Sat in the corner of the chilled room, I can see the sharp corners at edge of the room. The walls painted red many years ago, connecting each corner forming a perfectly shaped square wall. The dull paint on each of the four walls carries burdened memories, where psychotic men drawing closer and closer to their death had been scratching at the walls. Looking up from the corner of the cell, my light flickers as many months flutter around it, finding the only hope and light that is left in the prison. The square room held one bed and one toilet captive. The rusty bed was only fit for a very small child, had no mattress and only one thin sheet covered in unknown stains. The stone floor was covered in small, dead insects which were rotting and being eaten by smaller maggots and bugs. Around these bugs, small speckles of dried blood could be seen where men had attempted to escape the prison in their own personal ways. Some would succeed, some would live the rest of their life in pain, and some would return to the nightmare in the small and claustrophobic prison cell. As you can see here, it uses a lot of descriptive words to describe the person and his or her experience. Doing so, we as the readers were able to imagine as well and create a vivid picture of what the author is trying to convey to us. So that's how powerful descriptive words are in writing. I have here provided some of the things that will help your writings create vivid pictures among your readers. Here are some of the descriptive words that you may use. If you want to describe something as large, you may use colossal, enormous, gigantic, huge, massive, immense, substantial, significant, and tremendous. And if you want to describe something as small, you may use diminutive, miniature, microscopic, petite, slight, teeny, itsy bitsy, tiny, microscopic, and wee. If you want to describe something as happy, you may also use blissful, jovial, joyful, satisfied, delighted, merry, ecstatic, thrilled, glad, pleased. And if you want to describe something as sad, you may also write miserable, cheerless, gloomy, blue, wretch, forlorn, tearful, broken, upset, dejected, downcast, and happy. If you want to describe something as good, you may also write great, fantastic, incredible, excellent, amazing, remarkable, wonderful, and marvelous. And if you want to describe something as bad, you may also write awful, terrible, horrible, dreadful, outrageous, shameful, despicable, and disgraceful. And instead of only writing the word as said, you can also write whispered, responded, yelled, stated, exclaimed, called, asked, replied, and told. And if you want to describe something as scary, you can also write terrifying, creepy, eerie, sinister, chilling, horrifying, unnerving, and ghostly. And if you want to describe something as funny, you may write comical, hilarious, entertaining, humorous, amusing, whimsical, witty, playful, and laughable. And instead of just writing as run, you can also write hurried, jogged, galloped, sprinted, rushed, hustled, raced, dashed, and bolted. And instead of only writing walk, you can also use tiptoed, strolled, sauntered, marched, glided, strutted, trudged, and of course, if you want to say something or someone pretty, you can also write gorgeous, lovely, appealing, ravishing, attractive, stunning, dazzling, exquisite, and comely. And if you want to describe something as ugly, you can also write hideous, homely, monstrous, unappealing, vile, unpleasing, grotesque, ill-favored. And if you want to describe something or someone is smart, you can also say or write witty, bright, sharp, quick-witted, knowledgeable, clever, ingenious, brainy, gifted, wise, brilliant, and nimble. We also have here good phrases that you may use that will describe one's emotions. So instead of just writing fear, you can also write frozen with terror. A shiver ran down her spine, was horrified by, felt a sense of dread, all hairs on her body stood on their ends, could feel the impending danger, and trembling with fear. And for angry, you may write furious over or with, fuming mad, mind was engulfed by rage, boiling blood, livid with rage. And for hungry, you may state ravenous for, feel the stomach twisting and turning in agony, stomach growling, as hungry as a wolf, famished, wolfed down his food, and stomach was begging for food. And for tired, you can also use this phrase, worn out with fatigue, could not muster up a single ounce of strength anymore. Limbs felt as if they were chained to iron shackles, dragging himself on limply. And for pain, you can also write writhing in agony. Knife was pierced through his heart, stabbed forcefully with a blunt knife, killed over in gut-wrenching pain, and the pain was excruciating. And for temptation, you can also use these phrases. Could not resist, felt as if he was being pulled over by an invisible thread, unconsciously gravitating towards, irresistible, helplessly drawn into or towards. And for embarrassment, you can use face turn beef red with, dig herself a hole and hide, mortified to see, could not bring herself to meet his eyes, feel herself shrivel up into a dried bone. You also have to remember that you should write in a way that challenges the mind of your readers, something they can learn new vocabularies that will interest them. This will also use to add details. You may also use euphemisms, which refers to polite, indirect expressions which replace words and phrases considered harsh, impolite, or which suggest something unpleasant. Example, instead of saying jobless, you may state embarking on a journey of self-discovery. Instead of saying homeless, you can say urban outdoorsman. Instead of saying short, you can state vertically challenged. Instead of saying not smart, you can say his elevator doesn't reach the top of the floor. Instead of saying late, you can say chronologically challenged. Instead of saying liar, you can say economical with the truth. Instead of saying prostitute, you can say comfort woman. Instead of saying old, you can say over the hill and picking up speed. Instead of going to the bathroom, you may say making a deposit in the porcelain bank. Instead of saying died, you can say dearly departed. And instead of saying overweight, you can say full figure. Instead of saying menstruation, say riding the crimson wave. Instead of saying garbage man, state sanitation engineer. Instead of saying wrinkles, you can say love lines. Instead of saying baldness, you can say a little thin and tall. Instead of calling someone as gay, you can say batting for the other side. Instead of telling someone as blind, you can say visually challenged. Instead of saying stupid, you can say intellectually challenged. Doing so, you are giving an impression to your readers that you as a writer has a lot of vocabulary, or your vocabulary is not limited. So this will be the end of our discussion. I hope that this will help you in writing creatively.